Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, July 10th, and today we'll cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, and MSTY. So first, some housekeeping items. Figured I'd just see what's going on Market Watch. And sure enough, I see an article for 4 cool beach towns where you can still buy a home for $300,000 or less. And that's my goal when I retire, to live as close as possible to the beach. So, number 1 is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Number 2 is Atlantic City, New Jersey. Number 3, Ocean Shores, Washington. And number 4 is Deerfield Beach, Florida. So, not familiar with Deerfield Beach. I'm not familiar with Ocean Shores. Atlantic City I'm familiar with. I would not live there though. And Myrtle Beach, I've been there once. I probably would live there. So again, are they 300,000 or less? Probably not. You probably get a shack for 300. Maybe someone's shed in the backyard. So I don't believe it. Anyway, also YieldMax ETFs. I know we always talk about obviously they're not even updated. They show NVDY under 800 million in assets. But I'm always curious, like, who's on the bottom? Who's on the bottom of the barrel, the YieldMax funds? So Airbnb one, the Snow one, they just came out. They're new. Crash is on the bottom. People are probably selling out because they're getting killed on that one. GDXY, Disso, no surprise there. And then JPMO. So, yeah, those, no surprise on the bottom. And then you have TSLY, NVDY, CONY, MSTY, top 4, and then YieldMax, Ulti, AMZ. So again, no surprise there who the fan favorites are, but I figured I'd just give you a quick update on that. And last but not least, Curve is coming out with a fund called KQQQ. There's no information on it, but I think you could sign up. I don't know why it's coming up like this, but you could sign up for for them to give you updates. But obviously, it's probably a covered call fund on the Qs, so nothing new to us. But at least they're trying. All right, so one more thing. I started the wheel on TNA. As you know, I've been doing the wheel on TSLL, and TSLL is a double leverage fund of Tesla, and Tesla has been going to the moon. So I'm not going to sell puts on something that's just keep going up and up and up. Eventually it's going to come back down. And, I don't want to sell puts too high because when it comes back down, I'll be sitting there holding the bag again. But so I'm going to wait to play with TSLL again. In the meantime, I'm going to play with TNA. So I finally did it. I sold a put. It expires on July 19th, $34 strike, $33, $34 range to me on TNA was the safe spot. So we'll see how it plays out. I got $48 for that. The yield was 50%, which is not, what I'm used to. But again, I strive for 40% overall, so 50% is enough. So it's time to play it a little safer in TNA in my mind, even though it's a triple leverage fund. It's a triple leverage fund of an index. So in my eyes, it's a little safer than an individual double leverage fund. So either way, all right, let's move on. This is why you guys are here. So one trade yesterday. So TSLY is the only one that had a trade. And as soon as you see a trade like this, you kind of have an idea of what's going on. So basically, you just know, okay, they've rolled their synthetic. And the thing with TSLY, they have 2 synthetics. So usually it's double the amount of transaction. So right at the top, you see an S, right? So the S, and then you see a C to the left. So they sold their call. Right, this is their massive moneymaker when it comes to their synthetic. They sold a call for the 32,000 contracts, 225 strike, and they got $47.25 per share for that. So obviously that's a massive payout. And then they had to pay $6.20 to close out their put. So that was essentially nothing, right? And they started their new synthetic right down below. 260, you see, is the strike price. So hopefully Tesla can stay in that range by the expiration date of August 16th so they don't get killed on the new synthetic. And by the way, they had to cut off some shares too because they went from 32,000 contracts to 29,780, which means, people have sold out since. And then they closed out the 32,000 weeklies, and you see how much they paid for that, 1914. And they started a new position with a 275 strike into next week, though. Not this week, next week. And then they kind of did the same thing down below with the other synthetics, so I'm not going to go through that. But let's see what it looks like on the spreadsheet. All right, so they have two synthetics. They had the 225. This was the 32,000 contracts. And for their troubles, they got 131,360,000, which obviously that's pretty damn good money, right? So they closed that one out. That went into the July profits. And then they had a synthetic 220, which they also closed out. And then that one, they made 6,022,700. So that went to the July profits as well, which will go into the payment detail. Now, the new synthetics, they have two. They have a 260, 29,780 contracts. To start this new position, they paid 18,910,000. Because if you look, the buy call cost 76 mil, the sell put cost 58 mil. So that's why they paid the 18 mil. Same expiration date though, August 16th. So that's 38 days away. The other synthetic is a 265. This one, they only paid 151,000 though. And yeah, again, same expiration date, 38 days away. To the right, you'll see some details. I'll get into that in a second. But first, I want to get to the July tab and see what the damage was. Because obviously, yeah, it's great. They rolled the synthetic, but how bad did we get killed on the weeklies? So Tesla yesterday had another insane day. It went up. Sorry, I take a sip of water. Hot as hell in here already. It's up 3.71%. And TSLY said, oh yeah, I get nothing. So TSLY gets 0.7%. So, missed out opportunity. It got something, but not nearly enough of what you should have gotten. So let's see what this looks like. So here we go. They paid 1914 and they paid 1937 to close out each of these contracts. But what was the real damage? If you go to the right, they paid 61 mil for one, and they paid 2.5 for another. So, essentially they paid $64 million to close out, the weekly. So they lost a lot of money on those two calls. At the time, they were 5.94% out of the money, and they ended up 6.61% in the money. So needless to say, it was a disaster. Now, the new weeklies, how do they look? Again, they're choosing one strike. I don't understand it. Why don't just pick a different one, right? They're still separating the contracts out. So again, they have 29,780 contracts and then 1,315 contracts separated out, but one strike, 275 strike, 4.83% out of the money. That's for not only this week, but it's for next week. And again, maybe Tesla hit its cap, right? Maybe it's done what it's done. So they think it's going to turn around. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't play around with that. So we have for this week, we have 3 trading days. And then for next week, we have 5. So we have 8 freaking trading days with 4.83% out of the money. That is a dangerous thing. And what did they yield, though? They yielded 82%. Their IV is 70%. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Wait, what the hell? Tesla's IV, holy crap. Tesla's IV is 70%. Damn. And they're still going 4.83% out of the money. Oh, man. I don't know, man. All right, outstanding shares did not move. Did not move for a while. But, obviously there was a decrease somewhere in there. Now, all right, let's go to the recap, and then we'll go to how they did overall with the synthetic bailout. 30-day IV, again, that's a number, man. That's awesome. So yeah, I wish I was trading TSLL, doing options with them, 70%. That means they're at 140%. But anyway, outstanding shares, 47,575,000. Income is a loss of 45 million, unfortunately. And so I don't know. Hopefully they can make that up. So I'm not going to get into it any further. But the details, you guys should be curious about is what was the damage overall. So when you look at the closeouts, the 32,000 contracts from left to right, their synthetic cost them 131 mil. Their synthetic brought in 131 mil. Their weeklies cost them 61 mil. So those contracts, in the end, you netted 70 million in income. Then they have the 1,315 contracts. They made 6 mil in the synthetic, and they lost 2.5 mil in the weeklies. So they made 3.4 mil when all said and done. So the closeout, they made 73 million. So yeah, obviously it sucks losing the weeklies, but these synthetics are typically in a better position, which would put them in a profitable spot. Now, the new positions that they're looking at, 32,000 contracts no longer exist. But if you look on the bottom, they now have 29,780 contracts. In the end, synthetic cost 18 mil, weeklies paid 17 mil, so they only had to pay out 1.1 mil. The 1,315 contracts, synthetic only cost them 151,000, and they actually made almost 800,000 on the weekly, so that was a profit net. When all's said and done, net of the closeouts and the new positions, they made taxable income yesterday of $73 million. So I'm going to plug this in, well, I already did, to the payment detail, and you'll see, the new numbers. So the synthetic bailout is in full force. So I'm sure the reaction. There it is. Here we go. Saving you again, weeklies. Mr. Weeklies getting bailed out again. So, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll forgive you. Just don't let it happen again. All right. So look at this. Synthetic income for July. Yesterday, these were all zeros. Nothing there. Now we got 118 million in synthetic income. Short call loss 45 mil. So we have to look at net income alone. Net income alone is 73 million. That is a total income per share of $1.50 freaking four. $1.54 already, right? Last month they made $1.82. They paid $1. This month they're already at $1.54. So I'm not gonna, you can't really think up that far ahead, but could TSLY pay over $1 yet again? I don't see why not, but time will tell. The way it's looking, of course, yeah, they'll pay over $1, unless they get murdered. Well, actually, no, the synthetics expire August 16th, so it's unlikely that they, take the hit on those beforehand, before the next declaration date, but hey, you never know. So, in the end, TSLY, they have two new synthetics. They have one weekly call, but it expires next week, so we don't have to talk about that. But their net asset value is 821 million. The NAV is 1726, and the trade price is 1717. So the net asset value is 821 mil. So what we're going to ask next, right? What's NVDY's? We have to skip ahead. What's NVDY's? 855. So, yep, not catching them yet. All right, so neither NVDY nor MSTY nor CONY had trades, just TSLY yesterday. And I was okay with that because TSLY kept me busy. So here's the update on NVDY. They just have the 127 synthetic. Again, expires August 16th. However, they're actually in a profitable position right now. So if you go to the July tab, how did NVIDIA do yesterday? They actually went up 2.48%. NVIDIA went up 1.78%. So if you look at the calls for the week, let's see, zoom in a little bit. They have 2 strikes. The biggest position though, 63,350 contracts, 132 strike. Yikes, 0.47% out of the money. That is way, way too close. And then they have 2,225 contracts, 133 strike. That's 1.23% out of the money. So yeah, NVDY, yikes. I mean, I don't know, man. They got 3 trading days. We'll see what happens. Outstanding shares, for once, no movement. So people are taking a break. They don't want to buy NVIDIA anymore. Yeah, right. All right, 30-day IV, little low, man, 47%. Look at, very low compared to Tesla's. Outstanding shares, 29,950,000. Net income from the weekly calls, 8.5 mil. Distribution is 29 cents. Daily income, 4 cents per share. Daily yield, 0.14%. And if you annualize that sucker, we're looking at 52%. Okay. Reaction, yeah, it's a nail biter. 3 trading days, that's a lot. That's a lot of days left. So you need NVIDIA to like just hang out and not move. All right, payment information. There's going to be no additions from the prior day. They have a synthetic loss of 556,000. They have a short call income of 8.5 mil. So we'll look at the total net income of 8 mil, which comes to 27 cents a share. Or if we look at the short call income, they have 29 cents a share. And then you look at the estimate based on that, $1.39, which is a 58% yield. So someone asked me yesterday, what is the house money thing? I guess they missed when I updated the sheet. So what I am tracking now is the original launch price of the fund, all the funds, right? All the funds. So NVIDIA launched at or around $19.91. They have paid out $18.66 since then in distributions. So I'm showing if they paid even, just $1.25 more, they would have paid back the original investment if you had bought at the launch. So that means you would be playing with the house's money at that point, right? You won your original investment back. Everything after that is considered house money. In my eyes, at least. You guys can call it what you want. You guys can think about it what you want. But that's how I think about it, in my opinion. Me personally, I don't have it in 1991. I have it around 21. But I'm getting close, for my own purposes of house money. Maybe I should put my price down below and how far away I am from house money to make it exciting. But I don't know. Hopefully some of you guys bought at launch, so that's actually relevant to you. All right, so the holdings, not much to talk about still. Synthetic expires August 16th, and the weeklies, it's going to be a nail biter, man. They expire Friday. They're close, and we just need NVIDIA to not do anything. Is that possible? All right, time to talk about crypto. So no trades for CONY, as mentioned. Their synthetic is 4.36% away from the strike. But again, expires August 16th, which is 38 days away. So we don't have to be concerned about that. Now, how did COIN do yesterday? COIN went down 0.27%. CONY said, screw you, I'm going up 0.05%. I'm done with you. So good job, CONY. In the $19 range. What a deal. All right, so how are we doing? Let me zoom out. All contracts expire July 12th. We have 2 strikes. The biggest position is a 235 strike. That's 6.83% out of the money. And then a very small position at 230 strike, 4.56% out of the money. Now, with, 3 trading days, that is a little tight. But we'll see. Outstanding shares, no movement. Probably didn't update anything. Look at that, 30-day IV. So Tesla's IV is in line with COIN. Who would have thought? 30-day IV, 70%. Outstanding shares, 34,925,000. Total net income from the weekly calls, 8.4 mil. Total distribution, 24 cents. Daily income, 3 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.18%. And if you annualize that, that's 65%, which, again, that's okay. Reaction, he's smiling, but should he be smiling? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It's gonna be a nail biter on a couple of these, so we'll see. Synthetic income, none. They have a loss of 42 mil. They're synthetic disaster. Short call income, 8.4 mil, so we'll just look at that. Short call income per share, 24 cents. Throw that in the estimator, and that's looking at a $1.17, which is a 73% yield. Not we want more than that for CONY, sadly. Now, if you look at their launch price was around 1977. They paid out 1852. House money needed, pretty much the same as NVDY, $1.25. So they're more than likely going to pay out what they need to. So NVDY and CONY are, after this next month's payment, it's going to be house money, baby. So we're going to be having a house money party. House money videos everywhere. Who's going to make the coolest house money icon? All right. What do we got here? We got their synthetics. Again, it's August 16th. So it's too early to cry. The weeklies, we'll see. And the net asset value, 666. 666 mil. NAV 1907. Trade price 1908. We'll see how that goes. Now, last but not least, MSTY. No trades for MSTY either. So how's their synthetic doing? Oh my God, we got to look at this every day. Synthetic is 16% away from the strike. That looks better than the day before. Let's see how they actually did. So, yeah, they did a little better. So MSTR, it went up, but it only went up 0.87%. I mean, come on, we need more out of you, mister. All right. MSTY said, you know what? I'll go up 0.97%. So went up to 2509. Very nice. Now, how are we looking for the weeklies? Well, gotta zoom out even more. We are, what do we got? We got 2 strikes. All right, the largest position, 1410 strike, 8.31% out of the money. Smaller position, 1380 strike, 6.01% out of the money. So they look to be safe. Outstanding shares only went up 100,000. Very, very light day in YieldMax outstanding shares. 30-day IV, 86%. That's for MSTR. Outstanding shares, 13 mil, 825,000. Total net income from the weekly calls is 5.1 mil. That's a distribution of 37 cents. A daily income, 5 cents a day. Daily yield, 0.21%. And if you annualize that, they're making about 76% on an annualized basis, okay? Which is good. That's good numbers. So MSTY fund manager, he's smiling. That smile or that frown may be turned upside down very soon if the synthetic disaster follows through. But for now, we do have synthetic income of 8.6 mil, short call income 5.1 mil, total net income 13.7 mil. So total net income per share 99 cents, but we'll look at the short call income per share of 37 cents. Plug that in the estimator. That shows $1.80, which is 86% yield. And they're a newer fund, so they're further away from house money. They still need $9.59 of payments to be playing with house money. And Tesla's even further, which is why I didn't really show theirs. All right, so for the holdings, again, they got the weeklies that seem to be safe, and then they got this 64 mil disaster. So the put right now, we have to keep an eye on this number. It cost them 64 million to close it. If MSTR if it goes up and it goes up and up and up, this 64 mil, it'll decrease, right? It'll get smaller, right? Which is good. And then our orange, which is the buy call, that'll be more valuable. Not by much at this point because the time is ticking. So we need MSTR to go up as much as possible within this week and the following. But before then, they may close it out. You don't know. So let's hope and pray MSTR does a final recovery, at least this week. All right, so net asset value, 346 mil. The NAV is 2506, trade price 2509. So that's the update on all of the funds. Now we could look at the pre-market and see if we're looking good. All right. All right, Tesla, good Lord, green again. Tesla's in the green. This is as of 5:48 a.m. It's up 0.24%. It's at 262.97. TSLY is up 0.64%. It's at 1728. NVDY is up 0.94%. It's at 132.63. NVDY is up 0.45%. It's at 28.73. Coin is up 1.5%. It's at 223.28. CONY is up 1.47%. It's at 1936. MSTR, here we go. Okay, it's up 2%. It's at 1327. MSTY is up 1.75%. It's at 2553. TSLL is up 0.38%. It's at 1589. TNA is up. Okay, I'll take it. It's up 0.73%. It's at 3605. If you recall, I sold my put at the $34 strike. So as long as it doesn't go below $34 before next Friday, I will not get assigned. So far, so good. AMDY is up 0.17%. It's at 1750. AMZY is up 0.27%, 2215. Last but not least, Mr. Bitcoin himself is up 1.17%. It's at 58,541. So that is the update. That is everything, and that is all. So if you guys enjoy this content, I was supposed to remind you in the beginning. I forgot again. But if you guys enjoy this content, please always remember to hit the like button. It does go a long way. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. And as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you were entertained. If not, we will try again tomorrow. Just a reminder, I did interview Jay on Monday night. So if you want to check that out, I will pin that video to the comments just in case you missed it. And I also did a YieldMax, YMAG Ulti updated estimate video yesterday if you also wanted to check that out. I will do one more this weekend, and that's it, you know, obviously until the declaration date. And we'll see how it goes, but, you know, is what it is. I am sweating my ass off, just like yesterday, but that's not the key word. I figured I'd do something a little different today. Typically, I do make posts on my YouTube via the community post. Sometimes people don't see it probably. And I say, you know, please share any of the YouTubers under 1,000 subscribers. So I'm going to do that for the keyword today, see if it works. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you can type in the comments by sharing a link to your favorite YouTuber that has under 1,000 subscribers. And the reason for this is it's so other people can hopefully see, you know, these good YouTubers that may or may not be catching a break. Like they may be putting out some great content, but they're not getting the eyeballs on it, right? So it's not like my channel's huge, but it's at least, you know, a little help. So if it could help them a little and you guys think they're, you know, a valuable asset in the community and they deserve some love, then, you know, throw their link down right in the bottom and so others can check them out. Because typically, you know, we all have the same mindset, same idea of what we want to do, right? Same goals. So if one person follows a YouTuber and they're saying they're good, then more than likely we're going to like them as well because we're all like-minded people. So again, today's keyword is share your favorite YouTuber under 1,000 subs so we can all show them some love and let's get them over the 1,000 subscriber hump. So I'll subscribe too. So I'm always looking for, you know, new and exciting YouTube channels, especially the new ones. I love the new ones because they're mostly real. Although some of these, man, they come out with like all this fancy stuff already. I'm like, how the hell I don't know. I don't know if people have time to do all these effects and all that, but it's just crazy. But anyway, that's the keyword for today. So that's all I got. I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Later.